You can take, psychology classes and physiology classes, but you don't know yourself or you don't know people until you've been a landlord. That's one of my things. Like you grow, your mind expands, and they can teach theory and everything, but you don't know until you're a landlord.
Because you're dealing with people and you're dealing with different people, different situations, and you have to try and navigate it all and still have to make a wise decision that benefits not only you, but your family, but still have an eye on what's a good need for the tenant as well. So,
well, what we're always saying, real estate's a people business. It's all about relationships. Well, rarely do people dive into the relationship with the tenant, though. Right. That's a good point. I like that. I know Zach Keeps, he's popular. He's been on the show. He's always talking about his tenants. Yeah. So share some stories with the tenants. Like why is it, you just mentioned like psychology and everything. Why is it? Tell some stories.
Well, I think you just learn from them. You learn what their motivations are, and you learn that not everybody lives like you.
Sure.
Not everybody is as clean as you, or there's people who maybe don't have as much money as you that live in your property, but they're cleaner than an orthopedic surgeon.
Yeah.
So the wide variety of spectrum is great. I've had a lady who wiped her and mopped her floor every day, 2 times a day, because she was almost OCD, to an auto mechanic who basically had a 357 Chevy engine
sitting in the living room.
sitting in my living room. And then the funniest story was, and he actually rented my first condo, and I knocked on the door one day to pick up the rent, and he hands me the rent, and this one he pays me in half cash, half money order. That's fine. And he's so proud that he rebuilt this engine. And he's sitting and he's like, yeah, I rebuilt it. And it's sitting on my living room carpet. And I'm like, oh my God.
Right.
And it's this huge engine. And I don't know cars that much, but it's a big engine. It's got the big carburetor on the top. It looks gorgeous. And I say, hey, Jeremy. And he was like, yeah, man, what's up? You got a question about the engine? I'm like, just one. He was like, yeah. I go, it's pretty big. How are you going to get it out of my living room?
And put it
right.
And he just gave me this blank stare, like, I didn't get that.
I didn't think about that.
I didn't think about it. Like, I'm like, is he going to take my door and front windows off? Like,
right.
Hold this thing out.
Oh my God.
So yeah, that was like, that's one of the funniest stories I have. It's like,
that's cool.
Yeah.
So many different walks of life. And that's a good point. Not everyone wants to be like us. And
no,
not everyone's all about financial freedom and time freedom. Not everyone's about closing 100 deals, and it's just the way life works, man.
Yeah, we're wired a little different.
So definitely, I
just want to tinker with his engine.
But if you can tolerate some of those things, and I always say that you'll have, especially landlording and owning rentals, you'll have more good days than you'll ever have bad days.
Oh yeah.
So sometimes you got to deal with the bad days. You got to deal with the clean outs or an eviction, unfortunately, or whatever. 357 engines in your living room, abandoned cars left in your driveway and stuff. But overall, over time, it's a long game. It's like playing defense in the Super Bowl. You got to play all 4 quarters.
Yep.
Long game.
Long game when you're doing rentals.
I got a rental right now, and you never know what's going to pop up. So unfortunately, this gentleman's been with us for years. Someone cut through the mesh security door, unlocked the security, kicked down the door. They beat him up while he was sleeping. Right? And he had, anyways, terrible situation. But he's okay now. But he had to move out. Then we found we had a gas leak. We're cleaning up the place.
Oh, no.
Right? So Southwest turns the gas off. Right? Okay. Lucky he wasn't living there anymore, right? Because we had to put him in a hotel or something. Then you go down to the city, and it's Red Star. You guys ever hear of the Red Star on your property?